What's up, everybody? How's everybody doing today? Alright, I gotta make this video really quick because I gotta go to work. And anyway, so we got a new monster balancing coming up. So we got the fairies here. All of them, well, the double arrow on the fire and the dark, the damage got increased by 13%. But all of the rest, all of them, got their initial attack does 3 hits now. Now, you guys are probably going to be asking which ones are going to be good for the Necro dungeon, because now they're all pretty good for the Necro dungeon. The dark one, not really. I don't like the dark one at all. But the fire one is actually really good. The fire one, its third skill, all of its skills have multi hits, but its third skill has a slow, and it has like, I think it hits like 5 or 6 times, or 4 to 6 times. I don't remember off the top of my head. And it has like I think it's a 40 or 20, I don't remember, 20 or 40% chance to slow. And I don't have a fire fairy to tell you this, but from an educated guess, I think the chances for the slow to proc are going to be even more. So the fire fairy is actually really good for Necro. I like this buff for the light fairy. The light fairy is really good for PvP purposes and the Trial of Ascension. 3 hits. Now I know that when the first skill is maxed out, it's a 60% chance to stun. So is it 3 chances to stun 60%? If that's the case, the light fairy is really good. Revenge runes would be the best way to go, like Violet Revenge or something. I like this buff for the fairies. It gave them some sort of value. Same thing with the fairy queen. She does 3 hits. Look. Neil is better than Neil, being the light fairy, is better than the fairy queen. The fairy queen is like she either way. If you didn't play the game when they were giving her out, you can't get her. So, but she's like a budget Chisun, the fairy queen. So, anyway, that's besides the point. So let's go on. The harpy. Nobody cares about the water harpy. I don't forget about the water harpy. The water harpoon again. Nobody really cares. The Dark Succubus. This doesn't affect a lot of people. I don't know if Night Hag's Scuttle, I'm guessing this is the 3rd skill. Damage has been increased by 10%. I don't remember what the multiplier was, but whatever. I like this buff for all the vampires. Whoever has a Dark Vampire, this is really good. And you know what? The Wind Vampire too, the light one as well. The Wind one, you know, this is a nice buff for Argent. Now, maybe on a rune removal I'll do some testing, but it's a really nice buff. The Amazons, Water, Fire, Dark. The Water and the Fire, Ice Arrow, Fire, a chance to freeze has increased from 25 to 40%. Okay, I forgot that she even had a freeze, but anyway. Chance to deal continuous damage 25 to 40%. Whatever. I'll be honest with you guys, even though a lot of people back the Water Amazon, I'm not a big fan of the Water, of any of the Amazons. The Dark Amazon, chance to disturb, okay, that's better. I have a Dark Amazon. I rarely use her, but I have one. The Martial Cat, the light one, Lonely Fight passive. Additional damage has been increased by 33%. You know, somebody built the light Martial Cat as a troll thing, but you know what? This might be pretty good. No, I don't remember exactly what her passive does. What is it? A Revenge, her passive? Or that's the dark one. I don't remember what the light one's passive, but this is a nice buff, 33%. It increases the damage, so wow, yeah, that's not bad. This is a cool buff for all the bounty hunters. Now, these are other monsters that they're trying. I guess they're trying to put them into Necro. You have a chance to do the total damage is the same, but it does 2 hits. Now, what I like about this is maybe the first hit doesn't ignore defense, and the second hit ignores defense, or the first hit ignores defense, and the second hit doesn't. That's not bad. It's a buff and a nerf all at the same time for the bounty hunter. So, it's good. I like it. Now you can use them in my dogs. Now you can use them in Necro. And better too. They'll be better for Necro. The Occult Girls. Alright, so they all got a 5% damage increase, like they really needed it. But anyway, well, you know what? The Fire and the Wind probably did need it. The Water one. All of them got a cooldown reduction for their 3rd skill. they were getting extra turns anyway, so now cooldown reduction, oh my god. Like, if you guys saw my Guild Wars video, that was crazy. They get so many turns. Like, they really didn't need this buff. They did and they didn't, I guess. Yeah, there are some people that are complaining about the Occult Girls, so whatever. Whoever has them, though. The Mystic Witch, Water, Dark, Toad Poison, 10% increase. Alright, you really don't use them for the damaging, for their damage anyway. So the Liches, they do multiple hits now too. 2 or 3 hits. And the average of the damage dealt has been increased by 8%. The chance of casting a harmful effect has been decreased from 75 to 40%. Okay. I guess they wanted to balance the harmful effect, but is this a big buff for the Liches? I don't know. I still don't find them worth it, and I know later on we're going to see improvements on the fire one, I believe. The Lizardman, Destructive Blow. The average damage dealt has been increased by 4%. This is the fire and the light. I think they needed a little bit more of a buff, the Lizardman. The Water and Fire, the Water Minotaurus. Damage has been increased by 6%. Stab. I don't remember which skill this is, if it's the second or third skill. Rocky, get away from me, bro. What are you doing? Get out of here. Fire. Push. Damage has increased by 6%. I don't know. Alright. The Hell Lady, Water and Light, Gouge. The cooldown has been reduced by 1 turn. So, it says it's a 3-turn cooldown. It's actually, maxed out, it's a 3-turn cooldown. So now it's going to be maxed out at a 2-turn cooldown. You know what? People keep asking me why I don't use Gouge. For Gouge to do any real damage, she needs a lot of setting up to do. I actually did a nice amount of damage today while I was screwing around in Arena. And Gouge can do a lot of damage. It just needs a lot of setting up to do. Maybe we'll make a video about it one day, but not right now. Fire, Soul Crusher. The cooldown has been reduced from 5 to 4, so I'm guessing it's a 3-turn cooldown. That's really good for them, because I think this is a... No, it's not an AoE... Oh, Soul Crusher, this is the 3rd skill. Whoa! 3-turn cooldown. Oh, wow. That's big. So, Wind Capture, I think this is the 3rd skill, Capture. Damage has been increased by 7%. From what I heard, that skill wasn't that great. So this is a decent buff, I guess. The Cowgirls. The number of hits has been increased from 2 to 3 hits. Total damage remains the same. The chance of casting a harmful effect has been decreased from 30 to 20. I don't know what the chances are when it's fully skilled. All right, so it's a better Necro monster now. They were already the water one was already good for Necro, and now she got a buff. The Water Dragon, he needed this buff, to be honest with you, because when the Wind Taoist, they lowered his cooldown reduction. This is for the 3rd skill, so that the attack bar goes down to 0. It became the same as the Water Dragon, so there was no point, there was really no point in the Water Dragon at some point. So now this is a really nice buff for him. I think it's a 4-turn cooldown now when it's maxed, so that's really good. Is the Wind Taoist the 5-turn cooldown? I don't remember now about the Wind Taoist. I know they lowered the Wind Taoist, and somebody had told me it was the same. I have a Wind Taoist too. You know what? Let's check real quick. We will check real quick. And he is in storage. Hold on. Let's check real quick with the whole thing with the Wind Taoist. Because I think mine is maxed out, or at least it doesn't matter if he's maxed anyway. We'll be able to see it. Skill. It's a 6-turn. It goes down to 5. So yeah, it was the same as the Water Dragon deserved this buff. So the Vagabond Cravchon, the chance of taunting has been increased from 70 to 80%. That's okay, whatever. That's not a huge buff, but it's good enough. Drunken Master Light Stork Kick. The chance of draining life from the enemy has increased from 30 to 50%. You know what? I never really used the Light Drunken Master. He's really still not worth it anyway. Alright, so improvements on the Sky Dancers. Water and Light, Blade Fan. The damage of the skill can now be scaled on attack speed and attack power instead of just attack power. So pretty much, people will probably be building the water one. If you do build her, I would suggest speed in slot 2 anyway. So now, that's a nice little buff for them. That makes sense. The Dark Dagger of Grudge, the effect of gaining guaranteed critical hits when the hit point is below 50% has been replaced with the effect of ignoring all damage reduction effects. Okay. Oh. Okay. So what if they have a defense buff? You ignore that? Alright. I mean, I guess that's cool. It's been replaced. I don't know. This seems like it's an improvement? Maybe I'm not understanding this that well. High Elemental, Wind Dark, Soul Split. This skill will now additionally cast a hit point recovery disturbance effect which lasts for 2 turns. I have the Dark one. I never built her. She seems cool, but whatever. Alright, so this one, Fire Dark Twisted Joy. This skill will now additionally transfer up to 2 harmful effects on your monster to the enemy target. Cool. Twisted Joy. I'm guessing that's their second skill. Alright. And then the Water Wind Light, Strike of Rejection. The effect of gaining guaranteed critical hits against enemies that are asleep has been replaced with a stun that lasts for 1 turn. I guess this is alright, so maybe you want to put Unrecoverable. This is my guess. Because I use the light one for Trial of Ascension hard mode a lot. And this seems alright. Maybe because like if I wanna put an unrecoverable on a monster, it'll get stunned and pretty much it still won't get the turn. So that's cool. That's good. The Dark Vampire, Feast of Blood Passer. This skill has additionally been given a branding effect. Let me tell you something. People say he sucks. This monster is so OP, and they just buffed him again. Wow, that's crazy. That's pretty cool. Wow, I would love to get a Dark Vampire. Anyway, so all the magical archers, Magic Arrow. The skill has additionally been given a series of weakening effects that can be applied. The weakening effect to be applied is decided according to the attribute relation between the attacker and the target. Attacker has attribute advantage, damage reduction, 2 turns, okay. Equal attribute advantage, damage reduction, 1 turn. Target has attribution advantage, sleep. This is a little confusing. I would have to see this in action, to be honest with you. So, alright, whatever. I really have to see this in action. So, the Wind Magical Archer, my buddy Childish would be happy about this. Instead of increasing critical rate when the monster's hit point drops, the skill will now increase crit damage under the same condition. So, it's going to hit harder, but you need crit rate now. You have to rune for crit rate. Fine. You have to find crit rate substats. That's not bad though. I'm sure Childish should be jumping for joy for this one. So the Drunken Masters. This is pretty much, I believe this is the 3rd skill. The skill will now grant increased attack speed for all allies for 2 turns instead of just a monster. It's for itself for 3 turns. The skill will now grant increased attack power to all allies instead of just the monster itself. For this skill will now additionally deal continuous damage for 1 turn. Whatever, the Drunken Masters really aren't all that great. Warfire Light, start battle. Instead of removing 1 harmful effect on the monster, the skill will now decrease the enemy's target's attack speed and defense for 2 turns. That's not bad. And this is their initial skill? No, that's not their initial skill. But this isn't that bad. This little buff to the Water, Fire, and Light Penguin Knights, the dark one. The second attack that targets all enemies will now additionally cast a defense reduction effect that lasts for 2 turns. Ooh, the dark penguin seems pretty good now. I don't know what his other skills do, but oh, that's cool. That's not bad. The Wind Penguin, Wings of Wind. Instead of attacking the enemy after removing 1 harmful effect from all allies, the skill will now remove 1 harmful effect from all allies, decrease their cool times by 1 turn, and increase their attack speed for 2 turns. Skill ups will no level. Also, the skill at level 2 or higher, it will be fixed to skill level 2, which is the new level cap for the skill. Wow, the Wind Penguin doesn't seem so bad now. It removes a harmful effect, decreases the cool times by 1, and increases attack speed. This would be nice for like Necro and other things too. Trial of Ascension hard. This is a nice skill. The Wind Penguin got a big buff. That's a nice buff. I don't know. I'm trying to think of where to use him. I'd have to look at his overall skills, but this is a nice little buff. That's cool. So the Dark Taoist, instead of recovering 25% hit points at once, the skill will now recover your hit points by 15% per turn for 2 turns. The duration of the attack speed increase has been reduced from 3 to 2 turns. Okay, the skill will now apply a stun that lasts for 1 turn to the enemy with the highest attack bar. That's a lot for a third skill. I mean, it's not that bad though. This is a cleanse, I believe, also. So, like, he'll remove all the weakening effects from himself. He does quite a bit with this. And instead of getting all the hit points, alright. And a stun also, wow. That's pretty cool. That's not bad. And I guess it's a 100% chance to stun. You still gotta add accuracy for that stun. But you know what? That's not that bad. Gave him a little more worth. Is he worth building? I don't know. I don't think so. The Dark Harpy. The hit point that lasted for 2 turns has been replaced with Branding Effect. They're making a lot of monsters with Branding Effect. Branding Effect seems alright. Weakened defense is still so much more better than Branding Effect. So it's just a different. It's just a different. What do you call it? Weakening effect. Branding Effect only does 25%. Like it increases damage by 25%. Weakened defense increases damage by, I believe it's 75%. I think it's higher. Rocky, what are you doing? Anyway. So, whatever the case is, it is the Branding Effect. I'm not too thrilled with Branding Effect. Weakened defense is so much more better. Wind Minotaurs, Lord of the passive. Instead of increasing resistance by 50%, the skill will now increase attack power by 50%. Instead of increasing the hit point recovery that the monster receives by 50%, the skill will now heal the monster for 30% of the damage dealt. So it's pretty much like a blood-sucking ability. Alright. Maybe it gave him some worth, some value, but I'd have to check him out. This, I like this. The Dark Mystic Witch, Curse. I think this is the one where it's sleeved. This skill has additionally removed the beneficial effect on the enemy with 100% chance. This looks alright. Is it only one beneficial effect though? That's the thing. Or is it all beneficial effects? For over here it looks singular, so it looks like it's only removing one beneficial effect. But this is an AoE. And it puts sleep. I believe it's an AoE. Let me just make 100% sure. What's it called? Curse? I have like 3 of them also. That's the funny thing. Let me go to the Awakened version. Let me just make sure I'm saying the right things here. No. Whoa. Mystic Witch, Dark. Where's Curse? There's no skill called Curse. I see Thorn Bush Summoning. Attacks all enemies 4 times by summoning a thorny bushes and makes them all fall asleep for 1 turn with a 50% chance. Then she has Toad Poison and Crow Summoning. So what is this Curse over here? Does she get a 4th skill? I don't know what this is. Somebody's going to have to explain this to me over here. I don't know what this is over here. Anyway. The Lich. The skill will additionally grant the monster attack power and critical rate increase that lasts for 1 turn. This might not be so bad. He needed a buff somewhere, but I don't know. Water, Wind, Dark, Deadly Touch. The skill has been changed so that it does not erase the attack speed reduction effects and that are on enemies which are immune to freeze or stun effects. Whatever. I mean, it's not a huge. This isn't a very big or important buff. The Water Monkey King. It's a decent buff. The skill also grants 2 turns of immunity, and its cool time will be decreased. I believe, yeah, this is the 3rd skill. Will be decreased by 1 turn if the attack gets 3 or 4 critical hits. Ooh. He gets a shield, and now he pretty much gets a Chloe buff with his 3rd skill. I don't know. Is it any good? I'm not 100% sure. I don't. They all are 3 or 4 hit crits. Okay. Samurai, Water, Wind, Light, Air Slash. The skill will now grant the monster an attack speed increase for 2 turns if the land attacks as a critical hit. So I'm guessing this is their second skill. And these 3 monsters, well, I know the water and wind. Their third skill is also based on attack speed. So this is a nice little buff. So instead of using their third skill first, you use their second skill, get the attack speed increase, and then use their third skill. That's not bad. That's a decent buff. I'll give them that one. The AI of this is what we got to talk about. Okay, Water, Light, Fire Garudas. The research. I don't remember what Rapidity does. Oh, Rapidity increases attack speed. Okay. Anyway, the Fire Garuda isn't that great. The Light Garuda, everybody gets it off the bat. The Water Garuda, the AI has been improved to use attack bar related skills more often. Honestly, the Water Garuda I didn't even think needed something like this, but whatever. It's researching more. Fine. Bernard needed this. Tailwind. Now you're going to be seeing a lot of crazy defenses now, where the only way to beat them is to outspeed them. You're not going to be able to. You're not going to be able to get out dirt. You're not going to be able to outderp them now. So, yeah, I like this buff for Bernard. And then Inferno, Water, Adrenaline. Yeah, all right. He was never really a defense monster. I don't think you really use him for as the AI anyway. He didn't need this buff, but whatever. It's cool. Wind, Light, Briefing, and then Briefing. I don't know what the skill does. What is this? The Neostone Agent? Wind and Light. Let's see what the skill is in the first place. Briefing. Removes all harmful effects on an ally target and fills up the ally's attack bar. Okay, cool. That's not bad. I guess for dungeons and stuff like that. Yeah, that's cool. Horus, Wind, Marching Shout. I don't know what that skill does. The Horus, Marching Shout increases the defense and critical rate of all allies for 2 turns. Cool, and fills up the target ally's attack bar. All right, that's cool. That's a nice little buff for him. So Werewolf, Water, Light, Predator's Cry. The activate. Okay, so these are heals. The activation of the skill regarding ally hit points has been changed to make the AI use the skill under broader situations. This is good. This is very good. I like it. Neostone Agent, Water. Okay, Sylphid, Light. Yeah, she kind of needed it as well. Harpu, Fire. See, this is the Harpu would use it as an attack buff. So now it'll use it as a heal as well, which is really good. Shout of Recovery, Victory. Yeah, I think this is a heal on the light one. Whatever. The light one's not that great to build. The Drunken Masters, whatever. The Water and Dark. This is a nice buff for both of them on the Water and Dark. Their heal and the thing, and then Emma's too, the medical support. So these are actually really nice buffs. Comtours did a good job. They I guess they're listening to people. I especially like this buff on the Griffin. I didn't think the Water Garuda needed the buff, but whatever, fine. That's a plus. Well, maybe we didn't have to complain about that. The Harpoon needed the buff like this. It really did. It derped sometimes. And the Battle Mammoths. That's a nice buff too. I don't use the Water one. I don't use the Werewolves. I'm guessing that's a nice buff for them too. On defense now, they're going to be a little more annoying. The Water and Light Werewolves. Yeah, no, this is... You know what? I'm going to give it to Comtours. They did a good job. Anyways, guys, I got to go. I might, if I get home from work early enough, I just picked up Halo 5. I might be streaming it tonight. I'm not promising anything. Tomorrow, though, we'll probably be streaming it. But anyway, check out the stream. It's Nick the Greek 3... Twitch.tv/NickTheGreek319. I'll talk to everybody later.